This is your worst nightmare.
Yeah, I know.
What? How?
Because it's a phone call. I hate speaking on the phone.
I can hear that.
I recorded a video about New Year's resolutions, why we shouldn't make them or how we should make them, etc., etc. And yet, I did not mention the other problem around New Year's, a very common one, and I think it's about idealizing this notion of the new year, new us, whatever we want to do, whatever we want to become. I think wanting to be better is great, and working on yourself it can be great, but sometimes we have this notion of becoming the perfect self, so having a perfect year. I think sometimes in personal development, there's this message that you can be whatever you want to be. You can make your life absolutely perfect if you just try hard enough, if you control your reactions to things, if you're whatever people come up with these days. And I'm one of those people, apparently. But as some of you may know, I'm quite ambivalent about being happy at all times or being the perfect version of yourself, because we are not perfect as human beings. We're just not perfect. And life is not designed to be perfect because we always stand in our own way, which is quite funny if we choose to look at it that way. So I thought I'd make a quick video to let you know that it's okay if this year is not perfect. In fact, I invite you to make room for negativity. And I don't mean that you should predict all the terrible things that might happen. I mean those tiny, annoying things that always happen. No matter how great your life is, there will always be those tiny things that just piss you off. And in order to illustrate this, I'll tell you what will certainly happen to me this year. So this year, someone will certainly piss me off. And no matter how much I try to work on that and understand other people and to be calm, I'll surely get angry at some point. I will surely be misunderstood this year, and I hate being misunderstood, but that happens. I will surely have days when I'm exhausted, where I feel like what I'm doing makes no sense, and those days will pass, but they will happen. I will be in a bad mood, and I'll be lacking this elusive inspiration. There will be days when I say something I regret. I'll say something in anger, or I'll just say something stupid, or I won't say something that I should have said. This year, I will surely be disappointed in myself plenty of times, or I will feel like a failure. Sometimes I will get over it, but it will happen. This year, I will hold very, very high expectations, which will prove detrimental, and that will happen all over again. This year, I will be fearful of the future because it is uncertain, and even though it doesn't make any sense to be in constant anxiety over the future, it will happen, and that will pass, but it will happen. This year, I will be annoyed by people. I will be annoyed by people, and I will annoy other people too. I will surely fail in many areas. I won't get a job I apply for or an internship. My writing will surely get rejected in literary journals or magazines, etc. plenty of times. I will not write as much as I want, which is a chronic condition of any writer, I think. And I will be disappointed in what I write a lot of the time. I will surely get negative comments for a variety of reasons, and I will surely get criticized, and I'll resent myself for it. I will resent the other person for it. I will resent myself for resenting the other person. It will pass, and then it will happen over again. What I'm trying to say here is not that life is terrible and that something bad keeps happening, no. But life is varied. It is about the good and the bad. And I'm not trying to be negative, I'm just trying to appreciate life as it is, with its annoyances. There's this saying, which I actually used in one of my former videos, that not every day is good, but there is something good about every day. So I like to turn it around and make it morbid and say, just because something bad may happen every day does not make these days bad. It's just that we're prepared for those human things, these annoyances, not being the perfect version of ourselves at all times. No, that's fine. Yes, I believe in stoicism and controlling your reactions to things, or in taoism and letting go, letting things flow. But we stumble too. We make mistakes, we get angry, we get frustrated. And that's also a part of being alive. If we read a book, we don't want a character who is perfect and who is always calm and collected. We want a character who is complex, who's often contradictory, who makes mistakes, gets angry. That's what life is, that's what we are. And I think we should give ourselves room for negativity. Maybe if you list all of those things that you know will happen, you'll respond more neutrally to them in the future. I'll give you an example. This morning, I went out to get a few things from a store. It was 6 a.m., it was still dark. I was thinking about the video I was going to record, and suddenly something happened, something that always annoys me to no end. There was a guy across from me. He was in the middle of the sidewalk. So I was trying to establish if I should move to the right or to the left. Suddenly he moved a little bit to his left, so I moved to my left. But then suddenly he moved to his right, so I moved to my right, and then he moved to the center again. And I just had to sort of go around him while he didn't really care, which happened so often. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I really don't like it. I always get annoyed at that, you know, it's just this spark of annoyance. But then after I got annoyed for like a second, I smiled to myself. And I think this may have to do with what I've been thinking about, this preparation for those little annoyances. Because if you acknowledge them, if you make space for them in your life, a designated space, then maybe they may stop being so annoying. They may become funny. They may become an anecdote for a YouTube video. So I thought that was interesting, and that it's an important point to keep in mind while we embark upon the new year. Things will happen, things I don't like. Some of them I have to get used to, and some of them I'll never get used to. For example, I don't think I'll ever get used. As I said, some things I will never get used to. For example, phone calls. So sometimes just don't pick up. Good luck in the new year, or whatever people say, whatever I'm supposed to say. Don't get too caught up in making it great. It will still be great, even if it's not. Even if it doesn't make sense. If you like the video, consider liking it, sharing it, subscribing to my channel, and thank you for your time as always.